Ladies and gentlemen, have you been in a maybe situation about a Libra recently involving justice? Because that's the card we have today. Okay? Justice in the upright. This says justice, upright attitude, transparency, cause and effect, fairness, integrity, clarity, accountability, lawsuits will be won. So, I'll say I can read tarot because I can read my own energy. And right now, a little bit about me. Please like, share, subscribe if you find my story interesting at all. But so I'm homeless in my Jeep right now. That's what we in. Okay, I'm homeless in here. I got a job. I'm working on getting a second job, and I'm gonna do YouTube as well. I mean, relationship is no longer a part of my life, so I'm just gonna focus on work and keep my nose clean, right? But maybe reason I say all that is maybe you feel like that, okay? Now I understand you might have a warm bed to sleep in and a house to sleep in. I don't care. It's not a difference. It's fine. This is just my situation right now. It's fine. It really is. I'm good with it. But if you take that out between the two of us, okay, maybe you yourself feel like you're up in the air. Maybe you yourself feel an immense amount of determination to get to where you need to get to, but a fear that the rug's going to get pulled out from underneath you whenever you almost accomplish, but a faith to try and to give it all anyway. Now, reason I say that is, so this is the Justice card, okay? And what it is that you have reaped, what you have given out into the world, what your footprint is, karmically, spiritually, physically, what your footprint is, what you have done, your karma. See, when you go before the justice system, you will go before the justice system with your full karma. When you look at that judge, okay, that judge holds a position, okay? Now, no matter who they are or how they woke up feeling this morning, it doesn't matter, okay? What matters is they hold that position. They are a practicing magician, so to speak, okay? I don't want to get too far into it. Now, in this case, the judge has a red robe, a sword, and a green tunic, whatever that is, cape, okay, and a crown, which speaks about sovereignty a lot. The judge is sovereign. Her decision is final. But the average judge actually wears a black robe, which is a symbol of Saturn. If you want to get into that at all, please. And it it give you a lot of stuff to look at, a lot of entertainment. Look up the cult of Saturn if you want to have your mind blown real fast. But nonetheless, that we exist in a world ran by Freemasons, descending from the Catholic Church, and our priests, our judges wear black robes, but they're anyways. Called Saturn. Look it up. So it doesn't matter if that person's name was Chuck, Lisa, Lynn, Larry. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they wake up as, okay? Right? What matters is when they put on that black robe and they step before or the head of the court, okay? They embody this personage, which is judge, right? Justice, but they embody this personage, which is judge. Now, that the judge has a sword in his hand makes this an air sign, okay? But this is also Libra energy, okay? Now, in my current situation, I have something going on between me, Justice, and a Libra. And this says that, this says lawsuits will be won, but there's no lawsuits. So, but that means that the overall, the system is going to show up, number one, with transparency, cause and effect. So what happened, like I said, what you reap, you will sow. So what you reaped, what your spiritual footprint is, that's your spiritual footprint is what it is that will be judged. Okay. It's not just, I mean, in my case, I'm good all the way around, but it doesn't matter. And I actually am. Okay. Uh, People say that they know from being there, and my thing is, I know from being there, right? I know what's in my head, I know what's in my memory. So that's truth, right? You get me? Truth is transparent. Truth has integrity. Truth is truth might hurt, but truth is fair, okay? And cause and effect, like I said. So when you step in front of that judge, or whatever the deciding factor. Now, your case might not be a judge. Yours might just be an authority figure, whether that's a role model, whether that's a family member, whether that's a friend, okay? When you step before whoever is acting as judge, just know that you will be judged by your actions, but you will, your spiritual footprint will show for itself. Now, I'm telling you, if you're innocent, and you got a crappy spiritual footprint, guess what's going to show? Your crappy spiritual footprint. And there may not be a whole lot you can do about it between now and then, but maybe just starting, right? With, like I say, man, like I tell everybody, okay? You know what the easiest thing to do is? Tell somebody, hi, right? It's a common courtesy. It's in many cultures, it is considered, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a diss, well, it is a diss, but it is considered, oh yeah, there you go. It's considered disrespect, okay, to not acknowledge somebody, okay? So just by acknowledging somebody, saying, hey brother, hey sister, I see you, right? That says something, like that you're acknowledged. I don't know how to explain that. Either you get it, you don't, whatever. But maybe you could start from there today and hope, right? That you put yourself out enough of a spiritual footprint that you, when you get before that judge or whoever that deciding factor or whatever that deciding factor is, that it'll go for your favor. Because I'm telling you right here, right now, some good people have been accused of some bad things, okay? And some bad people have been accused of some good things, okay? But let's not forget, this always stuck out to me. In the Bible, they says to Jesus, how will we know you when you come back? And he said, you shall know me by my fruits, okay? At any given time when you walk into any situation where you are judged, okay, your fruits show. Now, I'm not saying that individuals, right, okay, common people, right, I'm not saying that your goodness always shows through with them. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about a full-fledged judge, okay? So, again, authority, like somebody who has a position, a robe, a crown, all that good stuff, right? Maybe a sword, hopefully not. If so, cool, whatever. But what you need to know is that you need to let go of your maybe, and start living as though you have already won. Because this thing says lawsuits will be won. So I'm just reading that as legal, period. Right? And that this judge, between the two pillars, having scales, having a sword, all that good stuff right there. See, the scales represent, I believe it's Ma'at, right? I believe it's Ma'at. And when you go into the underworld in Egyptian, or excuse me, there's a better word for that. There's a much better word for that. Because the Romans took over Egypt, and Egypt was never known as Egypt until the Romans took it over. Before that, it was known as Kemet, and its people are known as Kemetic. So, in the Kemetic pantheon, Ma'at weighs your heart against the feather of justice. Okay? And so what I want to remind you here is your heart is based on, I mean, lots of things, I'm sure. When I say lots of things, I mean your internal, right? But your heart is based on your spiritual blueprint, right? And so with people like me, and if you're called to this video, probably you, when I walk, so to speak, a spiritual footprint, when I walk into places, I affect the energy, and I know I do. I can see it. I can talk about it to people later, and they know exactly what I'm talking about, or they confirm it for me before I even get the opportunity to bring it up. It's part of my life, okay? Your footprint goes first, okay? They say first impressions is everything. Well, you look at somebody and they're shaved up, cleaned up, spiffy, the whole 9 yards, and they got a real cheesy ass grin, right? But you know something's up, right? That's because that person didn't show up first. Their spiritual blueprint showed up first. Their spiritual footprint showed up first. Their spiritual blueprint, or their spiritual footprint, is based on their spiritual blueprint. But I mean, I'm not saying that any of us are blueprinted or built to fail. There's just certain things you can do with the motorcycle that you can't do with the 15-wheeler. You see what I'm saying? There's certain things you can do with a 15-wheeler that you can try, but you just ain't. I'd sit there and watch you, right? But you just can't do it with the motorcycle. You feel me? And so, when it comes to being right and wrong, remember, like I say, when you first show up, your spiritual footprint shows up first. And I think that since that's what the reading is leading towards, that's what you need to know, is that you balance scales when you walk into a room. Like, imagine in like some Harry Potter spinoff movie, right? They gotta go get scales somewhere, right? So naturally there would be a shop with like some intriguing person that has scales in it, right? For weighing gold, for weighing souls, for weighing all sorts of stuff, because there'd be many different scales in like Harry Potter world, right? You feel me? But imagine that your presence when you walk in, no matter what's on that scale, all the scales level, right? And I think that's probably the best way to put it, is that Ma'at weighs the hearts of people against the feather. Well, it's one of her feathers, but she's a goddess of truth, goddess of justice. So she weighs your heart, however you want to look at it, either as weighs your heart against the feather of truth or weighs your heart against the feather of justice. And if the scales balance, you're solid, you're golden to go. But if the scales don't, she got a crocodile to eat your ass. You gotta have to look that up. Goddess Ma'at, M-A-A-T. But I think that I think the big thing to remember is, even though you're uncertain and even though you don't feel a lot of stability, you're doing just fine. Keep up the good work, obviously. things are in your favor, you're winning. Remember that. Okay? And this is a card of air, so that means communication. So when it comes to something that has to do with communication, relationships, or things of law, I would imagine things of law or air too. That makes sense, because that's why the air sign would be on the justice card, you feel me? But you're doing good there. So when God looks at you, if God sees you as doing good, you need to have faith in yourself. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to have courage to do so. But at the very least, one of the sources that you should have courage to do so from is God sees you as doing good. Okay? Keep your head up, y'all. Love y'all.